We have the opening bell in what is promising to be a great light heavyweight, fast-paced matchup between two X-Division style wrestlers, featuring an established competitor from the TNA organization, Chris Sabin, former X-Division champion of that organization, and a wrestler who got a lot of his early experience in Ring of Honor, as well as appearing for TNA before spending about a year on the shelf with a knee injury. He's returned, and he has more of a ground game in the Amazing Red.
So behind by the Amazing Red, as you mentioned. The crowd showed some appreciation for both men during the introduction. Very knowledgeable fan here in Fiscal, New York, and they realize they're looking at two of the top independent wrestlers in North America. And right now, it's Chris Sabin countering that extended wrist lock with a wrist lock of his own. You know, you brought up a great point, Dave, talking about how Amazing Red, initially known as a flyer, has worked to develop his, you called it his ground game, I love that term, but his mat wrestling repertoire.
Well, he liked early in his career, because of the fact that he was such a small-framed wrestler, he liked to use his agility and his athletic ability to his advantage and do a lot of daredevil high-flying moves and put his body at risk. And over the years that he did that style of wrestling, it did take its toll on his body, namely on his knees. And as a result, he's realized he's a much more smart wrestler now. He doesn't take as many chances, and when he does, he makes sure that it's at the precise moment where it will be used to his advantage to get the victory.
Notice you brought up a great point. It's almost like a baseball pitcher. A young pitcher comes up with a great fastball. After a while, his elbow starts to get sore, and he loses miles on his fastball, and he starts developing other pitches.
As Chris Sabin holds on to the side headlock on the Amazing Red. Amazing Red breaking into the wrestling business in the state of New York, so very well known to the fans around the state. As now a step over by Chris Sabin off the ropes he comes, catches the boot of the Amazing Red into the waist lock. Elbow to the side of the head of Sabin, off the ropes comes Red, going for the tilt-a-whirl into the backbreaker, and Chris Sabin showing a lot of power right there. He definitely has the strength advantage.
Covered by Sabin and a kick out at 2 by Red. Interesting to see Chris Sabin here. Chris Sabin is used to either being equal size to the other cruiserweights he faces or giving up power in size. Here, it's almost the reverse to his normal situation. Big suplex in the cover by Sabin, kick out at 2 by Red. But here, he actually has the power advantage, but he's giving up the quickness and agility to his opponent, Amazing Red.
The Amazing Red returning to active wrestling competition from that knee injury during the month of May. So he's only been back in action for a couple of months, while Sabin has been going at it full force every week for the TNA organization and across this country, and coming here to Northeast Wrestling. As now Red set into the buckle, Sabin comes charging, sort of stepping up on Red's chest in the corner and lands the drop kick right to the shoulder.
One thing that I'm very impressed with by Chris Sabin is this is one of the more intelligent wrestlers that you'll see. Very rarely makes a blind charge. Rarely makes a mistake. I mean, the intelligence of his ring game really belies his youth.
As he elevates Amazing Red back to a standing position, lands a solid forearm strike and has him backed into the corner now. Amazing Red likes to fly. Not to say that he can't do it anymore because of those injuries. He just is a little bit more wise about it. Going for the tornado DDT, and it pays off.
Being a little bit more choosy about the opportunities. And I thought that was great analysis on your part, Dave, a little earlier, talking about the fact that he's developed other weapons, and so when he does fly, it's a little bit more of a surprise. It forces Amazing Red's opponents to have to prepare for a wider variety of arsenal.
He's added a lot more submission-style wrestling to his repertoire, sort of fine-tuned his scientific wrestling skill. He was always a great flyer, now he's just more of a complete package. Drop toe hold, face full of canvas for Chris Sabin, and a drop kick to the side of the head by Red, right into the immediate cover, but Sabin nails it.
It's one of the older cliches in all of wrestling. This match could be a main event anywhere in the world. This is a match that could be on pay-per-view for several different companies.
It's a match that has taken place in many different organizations, as they have crossed past some of the top independent wrestlers around this country and around the world. wrestling on a frequent basis against one another, or at least on the same card as each other, so they are able to scout the other competition out there. And even though maybe Sabin hasn't faced the Amazing Red since he returned from that injury, he certainly has seen what Red's style has turned into since coming back.
Well, another thing that Red's added to his arsenal is I think he's a better stand-up striker than he used to be. Would you agree?
Definitely. You're seeing some of that right here, measuring him for that shot across the back of the neck.
And one of the things that I appreciate is this crowd, despite the fact that there's no clear-cut fan favorite or clear-cut guy to root against, the crowd's appreciating that both of these are top guys and showing both wrestlers respect, showing the man respect.
Step up Enziguri right upside the head of Sabin. He's been working over that neck, now connecting with the Enziguri, but Sabin with the lariat takes Red's head off.
A smart move by Sabin again. It's a little bit of a different scenario for him as he actually has the advantage in size and power, and he has to figure out ways to use that.
Referee applying the double count on both wrestlers. Very well wrestled match by both competitors thus far, and Red thankfully has avoided any damage to his knee. Sabin, maybe a respectful athlete as they are friends, staying away from that injury.
Well, and even though they're friends, they've wrestled a wide open match, as you're seeing right here. The two men are just trading haymakers in the middle of the ring. Despite the fact that they're friends, both of them are going to do everything they can to win this match.
Going for the crossbody, and he takes Sabin over, but the momentum rolls all the way through, holding on to Red and spinning around, backbreaker right across the knee.
Great move by Chris Sabin.
Goes for the cover now. Oh, so close. So very close right there.
Dave, would you say it's fair to say that every time one of these men has an advantage, it's because they out-wrestled their opponent, and it's not because their opponent has made a mistake?
I haven't seen any glaring mistakes by either man in this contest. It's just a matter of both of them are so good that they can counter what their opponent is going for.
And now Sabin looks like he wanted to try something off the rope. Now Amazing Red's going to get an opportunity to really fly for the first time tonight.
And he does, this time just a leaping lariat, but he does drive him down to the canvas very hard, but gets a near fall. Well, he's got Sabin down. This could be an opportunity for Red to go for something else high impact, but he needs to make sure to pick his spot and wait until Sabin is in a prone position. He knows that he's not going to get up before going up top and maybe going for that infrared, maybe for the code red, which maybe we can see right here. On the back of Sabin going for the code red. Sabin blocks it. He had that move scouted, back into the corner, spin kick to the midsection of Red, has him doubled over, comes charging again, Sabin catches him into the running sit-out powerbomb.
And he absolutely plants him there. The referee immediately checks to make sure that Red isn't unconscious.
Pulls him away from the ropes before going for the cover, but only no. Oh!
Amazing Red. Almost, I hate to use over and over analogies from other sports, but Amazing Red's almost a Barry Sanders-esque athlete. Barry Sanders was really too small to play in the NFL, but because of his heart and because of his determination and ungodly skill, was a superstar. Amazing Red,
countering out of the cradle shock attempt, gets the code red. 1, 2, no, almost 3. Able to counter the cradle shock attempt by Sabin after earlier Sabin was able to counter the attempt at the code red, but persistence pays off, and Red gets the maneuver, but only for 2.
How far was the referee's hand off the mat for that third count?
Very, very close. That's about as close as you can come to a victory without actually getting it, as now Red moving the body of Chris Sabin into the proper position, and now we're going to see some vintage Amazing Red going up top for something high impact. He's got a wide variety of offense.
Crowd comes to its feet as well.
All the way up top goes Red, going for the senton bomb, but rolls through on it. Got him up on his shoulders. Cradle shock from Sabin. Hooks the leg. That's 3. What a hard-fought back-and-forth matchup.
Outstanding match. Great victory.